We'll take a long rest and then
Austin.
I started the recording.
Yes, John.
Go ahead, John.
I've been talking this about Adam. I'm building a world for the next campaign I kind of want to run.
Yeah.
And what I'm doing is I'm revamping the city of Waterdeep.
Oh, cool.
And I'm throwing characters that I know from pop culture and TV in the city, freaking fantasy sprinkling them. Are there any big pop culture, like sitcoms, TV shows that you're into that I could pull from? I know you're not a big TV show guy. You're more of a fantasy. I'm doing just about anything. Like, I'm using the crew from Scrubs. I'm going to use the crew from Reno 911.
Actually,
I'm going to use the people from Sons of Anarchy. Game of Thrones, I'm going to use some characters.
Also Friends. Like, it's everything.
So is there anything in particular?
My favorite show that I've watched pretty much on repeat since 2016 has been Top Gear.
What?
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. What is that about? Is that like a car show?
It's a car show that's not about the... It's kind of about the cars. When you watch it, you'll get an opinion.
Is it a scripted show?
No, it's not.
Okay, see, I'm scripted shows because I'm looking for characters that I know. You know what I mean? I'm taking characters from a show.
Top Gear or Grand Tour, you're missing out. That's
Top Gear. I've watched a few episodes of Top Gear. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, and it's interesting too.
It's kind of like Mythbusters if Mythbusters didn't do myths and only did cars. Like, they test a lot of cars and shit.
They do, but they're also just stupid. And
I get that, but that just doesn't fit. Like what I'm doing. Like, it could be any TV show with characters, scripted shows. I'm looking for characters.
You said. I mean, Schitt's Creek is great. We like that one.
Okay, haven't seen that yet.
It's pretty good.
I really like Big Bang Theory because I understand a lot of the physics.
I love Big Bang Theory, so I could definitely toss some of them in there. Just to irritate Adam, if anything else.
Sheldon,
an asshole character named Sheldor.
Yeah, he's getting...
Oh, he's going to be a turtle with fucking mass AC.
I'm cashing in every single ability I have and all inspiration to crit him.
Oh, God, I can't wait to torment you.
I'm going to... I hope it's not till later. I'm playing a wizard and I just disintegrate him. It's happening on site.
If I think of more, I'll let you know.
Actually, I might go Garage
that
first.
Sounds good. No, I just because I'm starting to work on it. Adam's he's been helping me with it, and I'm gonna basically map out every area, come up with like a paragraph of backstory and history of every section of the city, and there will be quests out of the city and in the world. Like, we can do pretty much what you guys want. Go ahead, boss.
I'll throw in two more because you mentioned some of my favorites, but you haven't mentioned some of the other ones I have. Archer and Batman the Animated Series.
Okay.
I know you've watched Batman the Animated Series. You should watch Archer. Archer's
great.
Fucking great.
I've watched bits of Archer. I think I watched the first couple seasons. I enjoyed it, but I also...
That's about all you need.
Is a spy show.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm a big Bond fan, so I pull a lot from that. And Archer's a parody of Bond, essentially, right?
I think any basic familiarity with characters is really all you're going to need for this campaign anyway. It's not like you need to know overarching plot lines. You're just using them so you don't have to think of personalities for characters, which is a great shortcut.
Mm-hmm.
And then punching in quests and shit for them along the way.
I am very familiar with Scrubs. I watched the show of that a long time ago.
Then you will have to check out the Temple of the Sacred Heart, my friend.
I also really enjoyed...
That's already on my list.
I saw most of... send me your list too. And everything that you said, I recognized. I know Friends.
Okay. Good.
Just being alive is going to be helpful.
Sure. I wasn't sure where you were at on like sitcoms and shit. Wasn't that sure if you were a big fan of those. So I wanted to make sure I included shit for you. If you weren't.
I gotta fix this mustache. Anyway. John, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Alright, what do we do with leveling up?
I know I'm done.
We're level 6,
I'm
right?
pretty sure I'm done.
Pretty sure Boz is done too.
You should talk about what you got so you can you guys can be familiar with each other.
Well, I went up to 69 hit points.
Nice.
And I got the Aura of Protection.
Yes. Those are nice.
Explain that to us, Boz.
It says, starting at 6th level, whenever you or a friendly creature within 10 feet of you must take a saving throw, the creature gains a bonus to saving throw equal to your Charisma modifier, with a minimum bonus of 1+. You must be conscious to grant this bonus.
Yep. You're a +2 in Charisma, so that's good. Any pluses
that
are
means
good.
If we stand within 10 feet of him, Austin, if we have to make any type of save, we'll get a bonus to those saves.
Yep.
So stay close to Braddock.
No. What you mean is stay behind Braddock. So.
Yeah.
Well, you can do
that's
that
not
too.
a bad strategy.
No,
I'll just
put you on my shoulders, baby.
I mean, that's what Ace is gonna do. Ace shoots things, so he's got to be at a distance.
Anyways.
Look at that, Braddock. You the next item you found is a super long trench coat for you guys to be two kids in a trench coat.
You two in the lamp.
Just hold it behind the shield.
Well, no, not pretty soon, but in 4 more levels, I can take you guys in there with me.
Nice.
Pretty soon, though.
Yeah, no. I was thinking, but then I was like, wait,
I picture a lot of Steppenwolf being played in there.
We can.
It's
bloody well right.
Not gonna be played.
You damn right.
I don't know. Maybe Genie's like a prog rock guy. And it's
fair.
just like Rush 24/7.
You're not saying anything I don't like, guys.
Maybe he's a fan of Loaf. And it's just Mandy on repeat.
That I'd be less happy, but I feel like that would be freaking Jerry Moonbeam's Genie, not my Genie.
Tell Barry Manilow that you love him, then get on the phone and tell him you love him.
Nice.
Fucking love that movie so much.
Is that I Love You, Man?
That's Can't Hardly Wait.
It's Can't Hardly Wait.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, there you go, Austin. What'd you get? Oh, wait. Oh, you got a feat.
I'm thinking. I'm considering. I really like it for my character for many different reasons.
Uh-huh.
One, they fit story-wise and his backstory, as you guys will learn here soon, very well. I like the idea of having Firebolt, which is 2d10, that is a cast, so it's a little ranged attack, although I just like that. And then Burning Hands and Light. They're all light-based things.
Nitsua, I will tell you this. Or sorry, Austin. I don't know why I called you Nitsua there.
He's ready. He's ready to roll.
I am. Those are all going to be based on your intelligence modifier. So you're going to have a +5 to hit with that firebolt. It'll do 2d10 damage because you're at 6th level. But you will not hit as often. Your normal attack bonus right now, I think, is sitting as a +7 is what I just looked at.
I don't hate this choice, though.
But I don't. No, I don't either. I'm simply
knowing what I know. I don't hate this choice.
Simply.
Okay, so the spell it's my intelligence plus
proficiency, and the saving throw, it's intelligence plus proficiency plus 8.
I am trying to think.
That's 13. So it'll be a 13 dex save.
Hang on.
I mean, my character's already, I like where he's going. He's pretty good.
Have you looked at telekinetic or telepathic?
Austin,
because I feel like those might fit you better.
Knowing what I know and why he's doing this, Austin, I have a suggestion that is possibly more fitting.
Okay.
It's Magic Initiate Cleric.
Okay.
It's going to be the same bonus for you.
No
and
fire.
It's strictly because they have Spare the Dying, which I don't know. Light might be more fitting in what you're thinking. Light is certainly more useful.
I like this because
knowing what I know,
I see what you did there.
And for spells, you could take Sacred Flame. Very light based, and as far as your other spell, it does a little bit less damage than Firebolt, but
That you could get healing word. You could get cure
Healing
wounds.
Healing word's not a bad spell for
guiding
you.
Bolt is a blasting, blinding
bolt probably better.
That gives advantage afterwards. It does like 4d6 damage if you hit, and then you'll give advantage to the next character who attacks
the next targeted attack.
Ooh, that sounds
I think that's probably your best. Just knowing what I know and what we're going to get to.
No, I agree. I like this a lot.
Light is probably the best cantrip.
Okay.
But just for your deal, but I know Boz has light.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be light incarnate like that.
I think Spare the Dying has its
well, that's
uses.
the point of it. That's the point of me, really, right? That's
right.
The point of it.
It was just something I wanted you to check out before you made the decision.
Yeah.
So now, as long as you touch somebody that's down, they don't have to make saving throws anymore.
As a fighter, you're also perfectly fine at doing a cleric dip multi-class. But
that's also true.
That's if you want to. I like taking this feat here, and then if you want to multi-class
like a next
later,
level, you could take that dip.
Yeah.
But then this is maybe a little wasted, but not completely wasted.
No, because he'll get Spare the Dying and Sacred. Like he can get that'll give him
else
4 total cantrips. Like cantrips can be useful,
right?
So you could then pick up light later,
light
and
mending.
Other things.
You could get Toll the Dead, which is just it doesn't really fit, but yeah.
There's a whole light domain that gives you fire shit too,
right?
Or the life domain that helps you. I was
going for light stuff, but Adam's
honestly,
right.
If you were going
things that are healing or like
your thing, I would think because if you do take a cleric dip, and obviously this isn't gonna at the very earliest next level, Grave Cleric would actually be pretty good for you.
That's a lot of fun.
Not at first level, it's not that crazy, but it is fun.
What is it first level?
Yeah.
Well, he'll get spared. I believe he'll get Spare the Dying at a 30-foot range.
Yeah, I mean,
there's range at least because that's one of the first things I got, and that was a lot of fun.
That's a good range.
But if you like that, I like it. I think it's actually really cool.
Grave Cleric also lets you negate crits if you go that route. That's interesting.
You got to get the 5th level for that, though. I think.
Yeah. No, you got to get to much higher level.
Yeah. John, do you want to tell the boys what you got?
I got some more 3rd level spells.
Mm-hmm.
So those will be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna hang on to those unless you want me to tell everybody.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
It's more fun for me.
The other big thing I got was I can now use a new ability. Where is that? Called Elemental Gift. I begin to take on characteristics of my patron's kind. I now have resistance to thunder damage. And in addition, 3 times per long rest, I can give myself a flying speed for 10 minutes. So 3 times a day, I can fly 30 feet per round for 10 minutes.
What?
Yes.
Yep. Ace can fly now.
A lot of these newly adapted subclasses,
we can play Get Help.
Right, not the fighter ones.
Yes.
Like,
I don't want to do Get Help.
I'll
throw you and you can go 30 feet. Yes.
No, you'll throw me. You'll roll a strength check to determine how far that is, and then I'll fly an extra 30 feet.
Or he could just pretend to throw you, and you could just fly.
That's true.
All right.
And then I can pretend like he possessed me with some sort of witchcraft to make me hover.
Right.
My God,
what did you do?
My God, you're a robot.
You evil demon prince.
All right. Well, if everybody's all done, we have something different. We're not going to start where we were. We're going to start with something else.
Okay.
So, what? Are you good? You sounded like you had something to say.
Flashback time.
Good? John?
Yeah, no. I was like, okay. I'm excited.
Right, cool.
That's excitement. I'm ready to go.
No, that's fine. So, we're going into cinematic mode for just a beat here. Let me turn down this music in my own fucking head. So we pan across the beautiful seaside mountaintop kingdom of the glorious and powerful Stone Shore. We slowly zoom in on the mighty castle in the center of the city, the Granite Citadel. Its polished masonry glimmers in the sunlight as a beacon of strength and impenetrability. For centuries, Stone Shore has been a thriving bastion of security for its citizens. As we zoom in further, we come into focus on a window in one of the medium-sized towers. Through that window, we see a boy of about 8 years old, and he's playing with his toys. Then we hear a knock at his door. Nitsua! And it's the voice of his father, King Opak. It's time for your lesson.
Oh, you.
I hate breakfast.
Okay.
He says, come on, boy. Don't take that. And he's cut off by a more hushed tone. And it says, don't worry. I'll get him moving. And it's the voice of King Opak's wife, Nitsua's mother, Queen Linera. She says, Nitty, come on. It's time. And Nitsua, in a much more receptive, being much more receptive to this tone, puts away his toys and opens his door. Come along, dear. The Meisters await.
Okay, Mom. Let's go.
The two walk hand in hand through the booming halls of the keep and eventually into the streets of the kingdom. They're trailed by 3 members of the King's Guard. It's customary but wholly unnecessary, as the Queen and her 4th son are beloved by the entirety of the population, along with surrounding municipalities. The pair eventually approach a temple. It's a temple of Eldath, goddess of peace. She had become a very popular deity through the hundreds of years of prosperity that Stone Shore has enjoyed. The guardsmen open hulking double doors and usher the mother and son inside. The entire clergy gathers upon the sight of the queen and the prince, and all kneel. Queen Linera approaches a young female cleric and kneels beside her, puts a hand on either cheek of the girl, and gently raises her to her feet. She addresses the group, saying that this gesture, while appreciated, is not necessary. You then hear a voice from off in an antechamber say, they're going to do it every time. One does not alter tradition. Footsteps start to echo as this figure approaches. It's Tauros Freya, a high elf and high Luxembourg acolyte. Tauros, always a treat to see you, friend. Tauros replies, you as well, my lady. Now where is the young lad? Nitsua, come meet Meister Freya. He will lead you in the ways of the light, and you will address him as such. Nitsua peeks out from his mother and slowly steps all the way out.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Said, you as well, my child. Now, let us begin. We cut to a classroom, and we see Nitsua sitting at a student's desk. Tauros sets a large text on the desk in front of the boy, and we continue to see lessons taking place over time, a blackboard with the tenets Nitsua is to learn. Close your eyes and recite the tenets.
The community is... there is no light without darkness. The light is in all life force. The life force is in all community. The community is the body of light. To protect the light, protect the community. To protect the community, protect all life.
Tauros says, good. Again.
There is no light without darkness. The light is in all of life force. The life force is in all community. The community is the body of the light. To protect the light, protect the community. To protect the community, protect all life.
Tauros says, good, again. And this goes on and on. It's a lesson that's drilled into Nitsua. These tenets will come to shape the boy's life, and while he may not be the most evangelical follower the light has ever had, his value are as strong as the castle he lives in. We see these teachings continue through the years. Nitsua is growing, not only physically, but mentally. He's growing strong, and not only in a physical sense, but in his beliefs. These beliefs would come to shape him, allow him to be a voice for the voiceless, a warrior for justice, who fights for or avenges those that were not afforded the opportunity to do it for themselves. And with that, we're back in the now again sleepy town of Woodbreeze, or at least soon to be sleepy town of Woodbreeze. Where we left off, I believe the captain was about to take Odo away.
Yeah, I thought he was pretty much taking him away in handcuffs.
Yeah. I believe Austin and John both had things they wanted to do right here. John, you mentioned something you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Austin, we talked about something you wanted to do. So, John, what are you going to do?
Ace is going to head to the parents of the deceased little girl's house.
Okay. Austin, are you going to do what you wanted to do?
Well, timing-wise, I mean, I'd probably go with them. I'd probably want to talk to the girl's parents, too.
Okay. Boz, what would you like to do?
Okay, am I seeing a well in the middle of town?
Yeah.
Okay, I go over to the well.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Let's go with Braddock first.
Okay.
You get there, you see a couple of stands. They're open, or they're starting to open. I mean, I don't know what time it is. Probably like 9 a.m. or something. You guys got up pretty early. All the hubbub, whatever. 9 o'clock sounds good. Excuse me. Like I said, the shops are starting to open. They're probably ready for business. You probably see some some villagers coming to the well, gathering water and whatnot. Anything you're looking for in particular?
I look at them like, go away. Okay, so this is what you're seeing in my image right now is what you see on the water, and this is what I'm doing to it.
I don't know what you're doing.
I roll 20s.
No, he's peeking back over the edge of the well.
And I'm looking at it, and it's short because right now he's just trying to figure out what the hell is going on. He hasn't had a lot of time to process the shit that's been going on with him inside. And it's not going to be long. It's just going to be him keep doing that and trying to see the reflection,
trying to trigger it again,
or just trying to get something. He's like, "Talk to me, you son of a bitch! Talk to me." Who are you?
Very cool.
So he's going to be doing that for a minute or two.
Where's Rachel? Yeah.
Where's the trigger?
This is my normal voice.
The trigger is wherever you want it to be.
Mr. Wayne, thank you for your donation to the Children's Hospital. You're welcome.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
We go.
All right. Well, if you two want to head to the child's house, yeah, cool. You're there. It's in town.
Knock on the door if we don't see anybody outside.
Yeah, you knock on the door. The door opens. It's the father. I don't remember if we named these people, but that's okay. You know that it is the bartender's brother, I believe.
Okay.
Her name. I know the bartender's name was May. I don't think we named this guy. But he opens the door just a little bit, looks around the door, and he looks fucking exhausted. He looks like he hasn't slept.
His name is Ralphie.
Sure, sounds good.
Ralphie.
He looks like, I don't even know how many nights it's been since the girl died, but he looks like he hasn't slept since then. Yeah,
it's
probably
it's still fresh.
Yeah.
Sir, do you mind if we have a word?
Yeah. Come in. He says, honey, we have guests, and he's opened the door all the way, and the wife peeks around from the kitchen. All these houses are all kind of set up the same. So you see her peek out from around a corner that you would know to be the kitchen. She she's probably in a robe or something, and you see her kind of gather herself up, and she's like, Oh, I'll be right there. She looks equally fucking tired. She says, can I get you anything? She starts looking around for stuff.
No, I believe I'm fine, Your Majesty.
Some hot tea would be nice if you have some.
Yeah. No problem. The kettle's about ready. And Ralphie invites you in, and sits you down in the. He like escorts you to the sitting area, and about 10 seconds later or whatever, you hear whistling, and shortly after that, she comes in with a teapot, and she brings extra cups, like in case she has a total of 4 cups. So, John, if you would like tea, there is tea.
Gotcha.
He says, the dad sits down. He goes, quite a mess. What can I do for you, gentlemen?
Well, I believe it is necessary for us to inform you that the person physically responsible for your daughter's death has been executed. Though we do not believe he was doing it on his own volition. We believe that he was under the control of some sort of spell or creature. We're not exactly certain. But we know he was not of his right mind and he was missing parts of his memory.
He has a puzzled look on his face. He says, the wife is she looks the same as the husband, and he's like, she actually turns her head and looks and goes, who did it?
Unfortunately, we do not know. Some sort of arcane force or entity, or maybe arcane caster, someone with magic, is perpetrating things on this island, things that we've seen happen in our own colony. We arrived to a completely deserted colony. This orc was one of the original colonists we were supposed to meet, and he was missing. And when we spoke to him, he was missing a large portion of his memory and what had happened to the colonists. We found a couple, but they do not remember anything that has gone on.
She takes all that in. She's not like a magic user herself, but she understands all the words you said and the context and all that jazz. And she says, all right. And she's collecting her thoughts, and she's like, even though it was him, she's like, I never could get on board with all those other people. And you get the impression that she's talking about the mob.
Yeah.
She's like,
I would like you to know he was not executed for the murder of your child. He was executed for crimes against the crown of the Shord Stone. And
Mitsuha moves his before this he's been mostly still, but he chuckles a little bit.
Like uncomfortably?
A little bit.
Yeah.
We're just just a little, yeah.
Well, and Ace is delivering this very matter of fact, because he didn't 100% know what was going down or fully agree with that, but that's
sure
what happened.
Right.
He was executed for that reason, and I want to assure you that my sole purpose is to track down the threat to this land, because it threatens our people as well as yours, and get this assailant that murdered your daughter.
The dad looks at you and he says, I want you to know that we didn't get the chance. We probably could have done better. He's like, but the limited interactions we did have with him, we were as kind as one could be. He says we never understood where all those people were coming from. It just didn't make any sense to us. And he's like,
what people?
The angry mob.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying other people like the orc were in town.
No,
and he was like,
no.
whoa.
No,
sorry.
You people.
What do you mean?
No, he's like, well, I suppose I'm glad things should be safe. He's like, I appreciate all the work you've done. Just one last favor, if you don't mind.
Yes, I may have one in turn.
He says, can you do what you can or help the sheriff to make sure that mob either gets its due or goes away, or that's not what this place is.
Otto is in custody because he knew about the orc's crimes, and instead of going to the sergeant, he was following him around and doing nothing about it.
Mitsu looks
trying to raise hate in the town.
You say this, and the dad crushes his teacup in his hand.
And he
starts to bleed a little bit, but not crazy.
When A says what he says, Mitsu looks at the mother, well, I guess the wife, and says yes.
Yeah. So the wife sees him like crush his teacup, right? And it kind of like startles her, and she like pulls out like a handkerchief and like wraps her husband's hand up, and he's like, you can see that he took the Otto news, like, and knows that, hey, maybe this could have been prevented, and he's on the border of in a white hot rage, takes a big deep breath and calms himself and goes, can just get it done if you can.
I will. Like I said, I would like to ask for one more thing from the two of you.
Sure.
Could I possibly, and if you say no, I would understand completely, could I get something of your daughter's? I would like a token to help me remember her and to show this evil being exactly what they took from the world before I end them.
Yeah, shit. The mom,
like a stuffed animal or something.
Yeah, the mom sits there, thinks about it for a minute, and she goes back into her daughter's room, and she comes out with a. You didn't have anything specific in mind, correct?
Yeah, no. I was thinking something important to this girl.
No, yeah, I'm trying to. She comes out with a. She comes out with a hairbrush. And you see that there is some she's coming out and she's like pulling like some of the hairs out just to clean it up a little bit, and she hands it to you and she goes, use this on her every night, and she hands it to you, and there's still a few stray hairs in there because if you've ever used a brush, it's almost impossible to clean all the way out.
Yep.
She goes, I hope it gets you what you need.
Thank you. I hope it does too.
Natsua says, I've come here for two purposes. As he's doing this, he uses his hand, and just let me know if you have any problems with what I'm doing, Adam.
Probably.
He uses his hand and he uses his telekinetic movement to pick up the shards of the broken tea saucer.
Mm-hmm.
And he just picks it up to him and gets all the pieces in front of him. I'm here for purposes.
Yeah, just picks them up and kind of like sets them on the table so they're not all over the floor.
He's using them and they're floating in front of his face a little bit.
Okay.
And he starts to, as he speaks, he puts the pieces back together, taking time to put every piece back together so that it's almost, you can't even tell it's broken. And he's just sort of, as he's talking, it gets more and more put back together. I'm here for two things. The first is I'd like to ask you about your daughter.
Okay.
I would like to hear whatever you'd like to share. I would like to get to know her a little bit. What kind of person she was, what kind of person she thought she might be. And just wants to have like a conversation with him about her.
Yeah, he tells you about her. You know that she was just a. I'll do this in character. She's like, the mom kind of like lights up and like steps in, and she's like, she never had an unhappy day in her entire life. She's like, she loved being outside. She loved helping her aunt sweep up at the bar. She was an odd little kid. What little kid likes to clean? But she loved her aunt, and she didn't even see it as work or even as helping out. She just was spending time with the person she loved, and you know, she had friends here. I don't know how they're gonna. She's like, and she kind of like. She takes a big deep breath and sighs it out, and you get the impression that it's like she's got her own sorrow she's dealing with, but she doesn't know how those people are going to tell their own children that their little friend is no longer with us. She's like,
as she's talking to us, like engaging, like he seems like comfortable at ease. Like he's talking to her as if this little girl's in the other room. Like oh man, she sounds great, and just stuff like that, and seems very different than he did a few moments ago. Very like stoic, letting Ace sort of talk and get what was really necessary out of the way, and now he's just sort of engaging the mom about a kid.
Sure, very much grief counselor stuff. Yeah.
Like
sorry, but when you said two things, I was waiting for you to start off with chew bubble gum.
Chew what?
Yeah.
I'm here to do two things: chew bubble gum and kick ass.
Yep.
And I'm all out of gum.
He's
I was rowdy before rowdy was cool.
She basically just tells you that this was just a happy child, and that's what's probably sucks the most is like there was no real end, no end in sight for this kid's joy. Like, she had a good family. They weren't loaded, but they were fine. And
thanks, Adam.
And it's
so
just
basically killed Desiree.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I had in mind when I wrote this whole thing, John, was your child.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
I'm also picturing my daughter too with some of this.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, that was the goal, guys.
No, it's good. Like,
yeah. No, I got a bubbly daughter.
Oh,
that's
you guys
exactly
missed
like
it. You guys missed it. Before we did that flashback and we were about to zoom in on the city, it said all character and likenesses that may resemble actual people are strictly coincidental. He says
the people have been changed.
Yes,
Right.
That's why I resemble an actor.
He says,
so
she just gives you a fucking, it's.
So as he's listening, he then looks upstairs and says, I can almost hear her laughter. It's going to be hard for you for a while because it's going to feel, at this point, like the entire time while she was talking, the cup now looks perfect. The cup looks like it's not broken at all. It's going to feel like she's here and that nothing happened. You're going to look around and waiting for her to scrape her knee and look for you, or you're going to hear her laughter, and then you guys are going to make eye contact, and she's not going to be there because sometimes things can't be put right, and then he lets the teacup fall into pieces. And the hardest part is learning to accept that death is a part of life, and that even though her life was short, it was happy, and you did everything that you could. The second thing that I came here to ask you was I wanted to give you the opportunity to forgive the person who took your child. I wanted to give you the opportunity to let go and let me carry the burden for you.
They're puzzled by this, right? Because regardless of anything you would say, they're in a unfamiliar situation because they've never lost a child. So all of this, they're not really sure what to do with themselves at all. And the dads, they kind of look at each other and they're just kind of lost in each other's eyes for a second. And the dad looks at you and he goes, it's a tall order, sir, but in time. You have my word that at the very least we will give 110% towards that effort.
That is now your mission.
He said,
the memory of your daughter should be a good one.
He says it will be. If at the very least bittersweet. He says, but the pieces of that cup, when it was on the floor, that's what Woodbreeze is right now. And if anybody can put it back together the way you did just now, it seems like you two and your friend are probably the ones for the job. So whatever you can do towards that effort, that'd be quite the legacy for her.
I asked them, have either of you ever heard of the term a speaker for the dead?
They look at each other and they're like, no, that doesn't ring any bells.
It's something that I do as part of my order. We speak for those who have passed. I would like your permission to speak for your daughter tonight, if that's okay.
They're confused again.
I tell them a little bit about what it's like and what I would say. And
it's like a eulogy, basically.
Yeah. It's
sounds like to me.
And it's not only that. There's more to it, and you'll come to learn that. I'll let Austin do all that. But you expound upon it a little bit, and their confusion clears up, and they say,
maybe I asked them if they've heard of the Order of the Light or the Luxem.
They've probably heard the name, but they probably don't know a lot about it. Kind of like me and like Hinduism. It's like I know the highlights, right? Like cows are sacred.
And I like the idea that maybe a light bulb clicks on, like, oh, you're one of those, and this is something.
Yeah, but they receive the information you give them, and they have no problem with that. Because here's the thing, right? They don't really want to do it themselves either. Like, they're not in any shape to do any of the things that you are asking to do.
Yeah.
So they're more than willing to let you take up that mantle for them. And he's like, yeah, that sounds fine.
Ace, once we're like heading towards the door, Ace wants to like hang back and say something to the husband. Because I'm assuming the wife's gonna like walk us to the door. So I mean, he's gonna kind of let her walk.
Are you wanting to do this just you and him?
Yeah, he's gonna try to like give him like body language, like, hey.
So you guys all stand up, and the wife kind of like, she stands up and she hugs Natsua and like starts ushering him towards the door, and like is giving like a farewell, a thank you for all you've done, blah blah blah, all that shit, and like you like the dad goes to follow and you like tug on his sleeve.
And Ace is gonna say to him just quietly, well, I believe everything Your Majesty said, and I believe 100% that he's right.
Your Majesty.
If you need to handle Otto yourself, I can give you the means.
Oh, yeah.
Yes or no?
He says,
Take vengeance.
I'm picking up what you're putting down, and I dig it. And he says,
let's rock and roll.
He says,
I know where to hide the body.
he says, well, I made a promise. Instead of that, and he like looks at you with eyes saying, I know exactly what the fuck you're talking about, and thanks. He goes, I'm gonna leave that up to you, but maybe there's bigger fish to fry, and I'm gonna save you the inside check. He's like, in so many words, saying Otto's nothing.
Yeah.
Like, that's not, he was a problem, and he could have prevented it, at the very least, his child's death, potentially. But you guys have explained to, and he sees that that's not the big picture.
And Ace isn't by any means saying that this is what he believes is that he's saying this is probably the wrong thing to do. But I understand how I feel. I understand how you feel. And if you want to make this decision, I'll give you the means.
Right.
He's unsure, so Ace says, well, then we'll leave it to the sheriff.
If he wanted a gun, you were offering him one.
Yeah. And he's going to shake his hand and walk to the door with Mitsuo, because I was going to give him the wand of disguise self. It's a dope offer. I really dug that. But he, like I said, seconds earlier, he made a promise to. And that's why I heard that, and I was like, because I thought of this while he was saying all that. I was like, oh, this will be perfect juxtaposition for this guy.
If I didn't want to really grind the game to a halt, I would have took that longer to think about that, because it's a good offer.
I love the decision.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
That's great. So yeah, you guys head out.
That's the decision I wanted.
I don't know if I think Boz stepped away, but I would say by the time you guys are heading out, the sheriff, he has taken Otto into custody, and he says, gentlemen, I don't know what, let me find this voice. He says, I don't know where your journey's taking you next. He says, but when I was taking Otto in, the mayor stopped me, and if you've got a few hours, she kind of wants to, she wants to do a little something, and she's expressed eternal gratitude if y'all could make it.
Well, I'm kind of courting someone that might be inappropriate.
No. That's no.
Good job, Ace.
No.
Good job.
Nope. He's like, not that. She's fine there.
Gotta get out of serious, Ace, for a second.
Roll an insight check.
I have disadvantage. So that's gonna be an 8 total.
That's fine. He's shitty at it. You get the impression that him and the mayor are knocking boots on the hush.
That's your side piece. Got it.
Shh. Nice, Ace. I love it. Keep it going.
He's like, I really do appreciate all you've done, but you gotta keep that down.
Guys, am I good at keeping stuff down?
He's the best. Just tell him it's okay to tell everyone, and he'll forget about it.
He says, okay, yeah, I get what you're saying, but just as a personal favor, please. And
you're the police.
No, please.
No, please.
I know.
He's like, he looks at Braddock and Nitsu, and he's like, gives you a look like this fucking guy, and he's like, yeah, I mean, I know you've got, based on what you told me, you've got a bit of a trip, but you know, the town is yours to meander about. If you can give us a couple hours to get set up.
Is that what you call him?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, we'd love it if you
about
could stay.
The way you meander about with your side piece.
He's like, yeah, not now, but yeah. He starts to blush, and he's like, he kind of gives you like the fucking like chill hands, He gives you one of these, Boz. All right, fucking. And he goes,
I don't need to know where you put your her titties. Just do it.
Bye bye, Joey hand puppets.
Guys are fantastic.
He goes, also, I don't think halfway titties look like a burger. But he's like, all right. Are you guys staying?
Yeah, we're gonna go talk
okay.
to the mayor.
Yeah,
I figured.
Yeah.
Well, no, she doesn't need to see you. She just wants you to show up.
My intention is show up. Is this for like a thing for later tonight, like the eulogy speaking, or
It's probably going to be around lunchtime.
I mean, just so you know, Adam, my intention is to talk to each of the families of someone who was murdered, and then to talk to the mayor about doing the thing. About the speaking.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I figure like before this, it's gonna be a press conference. There's no reason for me to not say that out loud. I figured you could just talk to her. She would probably convene with you guys before the festivities kick off. So, yeah, he tells you the town is yours. By this point, everybody knows that, like, even though this didn't get solved in the best way, like, it wouldn't have happened without you guys. So you're basically heroes here. So you're free to do whatever you want.
So I don't really need to go over. Like we don't need to role play going to the families. We can just say that's what I do.
You kind of give them the same kind of treatment you gave the
I basically just
work glossing over that.
listen to whatever they need.
Thank you,
about.
Austin.
Yeah, right. I was like, oh.
I was also happy because I had nothing.
Was fantastic. I don't want to sit through three different sessions.
I had nothing for those people,
and that's why I liked role playing the first time.
Yeah,
and the other times are just like that.
It's really the best way to do it.
If they need to just like joke around and not talk about it, but I'm still going to ask everyone about them. And get to know each one of them as a person. Let them know that I'm a speaker. If they don't know what that is, explain it to them, and then let them know that I want to speak to them, speak for their past loved one, and speak to the town.
Yeah, everybody that you meet with, the two other families, they have no problems. They're all good with that.
Let's go get a drink.
Yeah. So yeah, you get all the sign-offs, and yeah, you guys, if you guys want to go get drinks, there is a
that's
bar.
up to Braddock. Ace is gonna head that way, but I don't need to. That's just what he would be doing while Nitsu is doing the rest of this shit.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna go to the restroom real quick.
Yeah, no, that's cool. We'll do these. So you guys head to the bar. You've met the bartender. Her name is May, I believe. Yep.
Yes.
May, we need the stiffest ones you got.
She is off-put by that comment. She goes, "Oh, right,
because Ace is worried about someone being off-put."
Yeah, well, I imagine you say
or
it.
aware of people being off-put.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. She makes a gross face, and it doesn't even register. When
you're like, not at all.
Yeah.
Yes, the stiffest ones. Duh.
Yeah.
Aren't you a bartender?
She pours you some sort of brown liquor, and she takes a second, and she comes back with a larger glass, and it sets it in front of Braddock. It has like a long toothpick, a skewer. That's the word I was looking for. With like some fruit on it and an umbrella in it, and she's like, "Happy drink for happy times, right?" And you see that she kind of doesn't believe that because she's still sad, but there's a noticeable difference in these drinks.
Okay, trying to uplift our spirits.
No, she made you a special one, and she gave me a fucking Dixie.
She gave you a run of the mill drink, is what she did.
She can see the pain in my eyes right now.
And you got a sex on the beach, like.
Yeah. Right. I don't know what Braddock's preferred drink is, and she doesn't either. But she made you something that took more effort. It's like a fucking mojito, right? Have you ever watched somebody make a fucking mojito? It looks fucking It looks horrible. But you know, they're good, right? They're worth the effort. If they're worth someone else's effort, I'll put it that way. So
that one looks pretty, Braddock.
She was walking away when you.
Yeah, she's very pretty, Ace.
Yeah.
Oh, the drink.
So when Ace says that, she set the drinks down and she was walking away. Ace says that and she kind of like looks over her shoulder, right? And then she hears Braddock say that, and she like darts into the back room. And you hear like a bunch of fucking pots and pans hit the ground and shit, and you hear the pots and pans being picked up. And then she comes back out, and she's got two. They're bigger than vials, but they're smaller than this thing. Okay. I don't know what to call that. Containers,
like tankards.
Yeah, but like small, like maybe like probably hold like a pint, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Give or take.
Like a canteen.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's whatever you think it looks like. It looks exactly like that.
There we go.
And she goes. Last night, Krog was here. You know, our mutual acquaintance. You guys remember Krog?
That's
the kobold.
Kobold. The kobold. Oh,
yeah, their names are similar.
Yeah,
it's the kobold second in the kobold second in command, right?
I was like, he came here before he showed up at the. I was confused, but yeah,
I was about to say, works. His last night on Earth,
right?
He
had celebratory.
Well,
drinks.
He's dead.
Yeah, right. Yeah, tragic. No, she.
Yeah,
he's like, no, Krog was here. He, I don't know. I guess he had the night off or whatever, and wanted to catch a drink or whatever, and. He's telling me about y'all's little problem. Said they had a bit of one too. She's like, I'm no fucking...
but we like Ace.
She laughs really hard at that. She hang on. I keep hearing my fucking phone.
Yeah. The guys are having random ass chats right now.
I know. I see him blowing the fuck up. Anyway, she goes, I'm no fucking wizard, but you know, I am a bit of a concoctor of potions, and she does air quotes, and she goes, I don't know, we had something like this back home when I was a kid, and I don't know if it's the same thing, but I figured it can't hurt. And she sets two of these things right in front of you guys. She goes, I figure one for use, one for testing and replication. I mean, I can do my best to recreate it, but fuck if I ain't no good with recipes.
Sure.
She's giving you the impression that it's possibly a solution to the blight.
Would you be willing to work with our wizard if this works for us?
Oh yeah, no problem. I'm just, you know, y'all did this town service, and I'm just trying to pay it forward.
Thank you very much. Braddock, don't drink these. And he hands them to you.
Okay, there's no umbrella in those.
She chuckles and she goes,
I still don't know why you got the umbrella.
She goes, I don't know if this is up your you say you don't know why she got the umbrella, and
why he got the umbrella. Yeah.
John, roll me a perception check.
8.
Okay, so watch me. Never mind. You don't see anything. Boz, okay. Roll me a perception check.
So many letter P's.
Yeah, I know, right? All right, you passed. It was DC 10. So watch me. This is what you see. So, like, Ace is here, and you're here, and she's, like, fiddling under the bar or whatever, and he says, I don't know why you got an umbrella. And when he says that, she just does one of these. And then she just gives you a quick look at you. And then she goes back to what she was doing. That
means there was no shade intended.
Fuck you.
That's fucking
I hate
great.
you so much. That was very good.
Well, you're pretty shrouded in darkness there, brother.
Fuck. She
By the way, May, what are these drinks called? The potions?
She's
Bud Blight.
She says speaking of tall, dark, and handsome, and she's gonna get in on the bit. She ducks down behind the bar and she goes, I don't know if this is up your guys' alley, but I've had these things sitting around for a week or so, and I'm not gonna have them. She opens up a box and it's a couple of fucking fat cigars. And there's a third one for Nitsua if he wants it. He's not there, so you guys don't have to give it to him. But
no,
it's
he's
there.
good. He's clean
No,
living.
Chill.
Is the place for him.
Ace is gonna. Well, you don't want that. Would you want some of this? And he's gonna pull out a joint.
I was gonna say no. I cut it open. Get all that nasty tobacco out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
you rolling a blunt. You need the bag. And Ace pulls out a little sack. Like
she sees what you're doing and she goes, fuck. She goes, if I'd have known that's how y'all roll. She goes, hang on.
Yes, it is.
It is.
She did that totally on purpose, by the way, because I'm very good at puns. She goes, she heads to the back and she comes out with a bag. And it's like a cloth bag, and she sets it on the bar, and it like thumps on the bar. And she like undoes the top, pulls it down, and it's just a glass bottle. But she pops the top, she pops the cork out of it,
was she
and
smoking rock?
No,
it's a bong, right?
It's a bar.
Yeah.
You can see inside of it is a brown liquid. She pops the top, and you just get like the smokiest, oakiest, peatiest fragrance off it. She goes, this shit's about 25 years old. She's like, and she pours 3 of them up. And it's a very old scotch. And if you're not Scotch, if your characters aren't Scotch fans, it's still really fucking good.
Can I get one more of those? Because I think I'm going to bring a friend to the party. And he's going to slam his lamp on the table and say, Jeannie, you're going to want to come out for this.
And then, Shablowy.
He's going to see if he does. He may not.
Last time Jeannie came out, there was a house on fire?
I think so.
And a dead body.
Yeah, that's right.
That's correct. So you see like fucking like Kilroy, right? Like out of the spot in the lamp, like this much pops up. It kind of does like a 360 and surveys the area. He sees this chill and he sits Indian style on top of the bar. And she's like, what the fuck is that thing? She's like, I'm sorry.
And I get the umbrella and I put it on his ear. I'm like, this is our friend.
I feel like Ace is floating right now, like his flying power kicked in because he's getting drunk.
All right. Yeah, no, that's cool.
Sorry.
She's like, what the she's very confused. She's like, sorry about that, sir. Didn't mean to greet you so harshly. That's the kind of shit we're exactly trying to get rid of in this town. I apologize. She goes, name's May, and this is for you. And she pours him a glass. Jeannie sniffs it, and he's like, usually prefer my medicines of the more herbal variety.
We got that right here.
Yeah. He's like, but this does smell pretty fucking good. And he throws it down. And I don't know why, but Jeannie in my head's always been not 100% opaque. Not like an anatomy book where you like see his organs and shit. More like Casper.
Yeah, kind of like the uncles in Casper when they're eating food.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And you see it sweaty, and he just takes a big deep breath and just wee. He's like, that went down real nice. And he looks at Braddock and he gives you kind of a pass that thing over here. Do you send it his way? No. Yes.
Do you
Maybe.
pass the blunt?
Maybe. Okay.
Say
He
please.
says, please.
That's all you have to say.
He says, duly noted. I did kind of forget my manners there, and he says, he takes a big one, right? And he goes,
You just can't be demanding shit in the real world. You gotta ask.
says, that's fair. He says, it's a lot calmer than the last time y'all fucking called me out to play. I prefer this just for future reference. Structure fires and dead bodies really aren't my jam. It's like, I'm down to help you, Ace, but like, I like to keep more of a chill vibe going.
I honestly didn't know you were gonna come out last time. Like I loved the flare, but I was just putting a curse on the guy to scare him.
Genie, are you digging this brand right
nothing.
now? It's kind of mellow, right?
Right.
But you helped that.
It's called Mind Rape. Oh, it's pretty cool. It's pretty good. It's okay.
He's he's like, he has a look of, doesn't sound great, but he's going to trust you. Austin, what you've missed is them getting smashed at the bar. The bartender has hooked them up with 25-year-old scotch, and it's very good. She has hooked Braddock up with when she served up the drinks initially, Braddock got a drink that required a lot of effort, whereas H got a good whiskey. But
mine
it was
all
just
fancy, like a Mai Tai or something.
It was a pour and go kind of job. If you would like to join them, I see no reason why you couldn't be walking into the bar right now. If you would prefer to still be on your mission during this time, that is also fine.
Yeah,
I leave the decision up to you.
We only got drinks, nothing else, no smoke, no nothing.
I don't even remember if Nitsua partook in the devil's lettuce.
I think he did.
I feel like
devil's lettuce.
Yes, the weed that you guys grow at Shoeville Coast.
Oh. No, he definitely partakes. It's safe to me.
Yeah. So Nitsua comes in. Let's start this where it belongs. You come in, and
so I've come in after having some therapeutic sessions, talking to people about their loved ones, learning about them. Like I'm in a mindset, like almost like in a zone. And I walk in. Tell me what I see as I'm walking in.
Before you walk in, I have an important question for you. How is he handling this? Is this like a burden, or is he feeling good because he's doing good?
This is his purpose. He feels good. He takes the negative energy of others and then releases it back as positive energy
he channels that into doing good outwardly.
The cleansing of the light cleanses the energy back into good for the universe.
Cool.
So it's a process. It takes energy. He's very tired, but it's also cathartic and therapeutic.
He could probably use a drink. So you walk in, and what you see is
Ace floating.
Ace is floating above his bar stool because he's drunk and his flight power is kicked in. The genie's sitting Indian style on the bar
with an umbrella on his ear.
Crisscross applesauce, I believe, is what we're going with these days. My apologies. Braddock
has a big fruity ass islandy type of drink.
Yeah,
with pineapples and shit on it.
Yes, it's very Margaritaville. They have taken. She opened a box and it had 3 cigars that she said she wasn't going to smoke. They have sliced one open and rolled a blunt with it. And everybody is mid-party, and you guys hear, and you hear a couple of footsteps come in.
Your Majesty!
So he definitely.
Wait. Ace does that, and May's feeling pretty good either because she's drank too much or has a contact high. She walks out from behind the bar and curtsies like real fucking big, like it's stupid big.
Ace, I told her to do that.
Shut up, idiot! That was my idea. What can I get you, sir?
He looks like he's tired, and he immediately a big smile cracks his face, And then he kind of stands at attention, and he gives the gentle head nod of royalty when someone does something. And you're like, oh yes, well thank you, yes. And I says, I'll have what Ace is having because it can't be that bad.
She goes, you don't want that shit. Here, I got something better for you. And
Well, I've got the nice shit right now.
No, well, she's referring to your first drink, but yeah,
Gotcha.
she pours you some of the. She goes, I'm gonna give you this. He has this too, but you don't want that first drink. It's good, it's fine, but here,
it's gone.
Yeah, she says, have some of this. I think it'll treat you right nice. And she pours you a rocks glass, but it is pretty full. She says, alcohol kills germs, right? So you drink as much as you want of that. All the rest of it, whatever's left, is going back in the bottle. I don't give a fuck. It's mine. I'll do what I want with it. I know I sound a lot like the captain, but this is a really easy voice for the DM to do really fast, so that's what we're going with.
Country boy. So
that works for me.
He digs in. He starts looking for the pretzel.
That's not okay. That made me choke on my drink.
What's going on?
Ace saying that works for me grossed me out, but it was very funny.
Okay.
Because she sounds like the captain. It makes fucking sense.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how I took it.
I was thinking of the sergeant in this town, not Captain Tucker.
No. She sounds exactly. It's the same fucking voice.
It is. Yeah.
So if they ever are in the same place, it's gonna be fucked up. But I'll try and change it then. Austin, you were about to say something.
Definitely don't change it.
Dude digs in. He lets his collar. He unbuttons his. He's not wearing a collar. I see him wearing this robes that look like normal stuff. And
that's the fantasy equivalent of loosening his necktie.
He lets his hair. Like he digs in and he just hangs out with the guys and just.
You said let his hair down. I have a very important. It's not really important, but I have a question that I do want answers to. You guys have kind of described your characters. What hairstyles everybody got?
Exactly like
Ace Ventura
in episode 3.
Exactly like Obi-Wan in episode 3. Okay, Braddock.
I was gonna say long black hair.
Sounds good. That's what I. Yeah. Is it like slicked back like Lion Opie style and right before they go to jail?
More like well, you don't know the episodes, but yeah, let's just go with that.
You can find a picture and then screen share if you would like. We can always come back to it.
I'm doing the Ace style Pomodoro.
Yeah. Wait, you're not going Ikwetsu Ocha, White Devil?
Well, he changes. He can change it at will.
That's fair. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
That's not a problem.
I do need you to let me know when you use Disguise Self to get the imprint of a Super Bowl ring in your forehead, though. Anyway.
As soon as I fight Dan Marino.
Yeah, so...
oh, wait. Can't happen with him because he doesn't have a Super Bowl ring.
Right. So...
Fuck you, Dan.
So you guys are kicking back. She's bringing out, like... she doesn't have, like, the kitchen going because it's pretty fucking early in the morning. But a couple hours passed and you hear, like...
Oh, yeah, it was. That's right.
Yeah, it's probably, like, 9... It's probably, like, 10 in the morning.
We're like trash.
I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It's totally cool.
By the way, Nitsu is having fun. He's enjoying the frivolity. He's taking sips, but essentially, he's always good to drive.
I kind of assumed you were pacing yourself more than these other two were.
Yeah.
But
like, he's not making a big deal, but he's definitely having 2 water to 1. He's doing his thing. Yeah,
I got you. I see, Boz. Very good. Nice. That would look very good with a giant fan in front of you, kind of thing.
Yep.
So you guys are doing this for a couple hours. You've got some snacks and stuff, and then you hear a bell in the center of town go off, and it's not far from you.
Do I have a tumor?
No,
that was from Grandma's Boy.
A tumor.
Yeah. Play my head, monkey.
I don't know. Let me look. Put your leg on the bar.
Weird.
What kind of dentist is this?
It's a proctologist. You read the sign on my ass.
Where all kinds of fucked up.
You're that doctor from Scrubs who's like, I came in for a sore throat. He's like, all right, let's get those pants off. So you hear this bell go off, and And May's like, what the fuck is that? She peeks her head out the door. She goes, oh shit, right. I heard about that. She goes, boys, I don't mean to cut the party short because I'm having as good a time as anybody, but we may want to head out for now. And she's giving you the simple version of the festivities are beginning. So when you
Right away.
When you head out,
Reddick, carry me.
Yeah.
I was gonna say your flight's probably passed.
Yeah.
So you head out and you see a very simple prefab stage has been snapped together. Stage, platform, what have you, and it's got some really bright flowers up the side, but then it has like black bunting or like ribbons across the top too.
Okay.
It's like the black armband that sports teams wear when somebody dies, but they also want some color in there to lift morale. And so you get out there and you see the mayor, and she's giving you like a big get over here arms.
Okay. By the way,
over there?
I'm giving Ace a piggyback ride.
Nice.
And we're
so
both still fucked
The
up.
view is so great from up here.
She's like, so you guys get over
And
there.
he's going to look at me and say, ha.
She's like, what does she do? No, I've got something for this. She jumps, grabs the back of your pants and pantses you as much as one could while receiving a piggyback ride, so like your ass crack's just hanging out. I figured a wedgie would be good, but I don't think she can pull that off.
That's a nice breeze.
Yes, it's a wood breeze. That's what.
You could definitely let her climb up my back.
No. She's not. She's far too drunk to do that.
Gotcha. I'm fine with that.
So you guys head over to the mayor.
It's a wood breeze. Good one, Adam.
You guys,
Good one.
Yeah. You guys head over to the mayor. She sees you giving Ace a piggyback ride, and she kind of takes like a big deep breath. She goes, "Well, Sheriff told me the town was yours, and seems like you've taken advantage of that. We just wanted to do a little thing to thank you."
Lady, yeah.
And then I turn him
I've
around.
never met her.
I do a full 360. I'm like,
yeah, you
whoa,
haven't met her.
No.
This
She's
is
like
I
Mr.
love you.
Burbank.
At the
I've heard
crack
many
of dawn.
tales of your adventures.
Dragon Slayer is me.
We're like in a full Master Blaster situation right now. Like, she says, Braddock, good to see you. Appreciate you bringing him with you. She looks at Nitsua. She goes, I see you kept it together a little bit better. Appreciate that. Maybe we'll just let you do all the talking. She goes, right this way, gentlemen. There's a couple of chairs up here. Why don't you head on up, take a seat, and I'll be there short. Actually, she says no. You guys stay here. So she walks up, and she kind of like there's like a podium, and she walks up, and the crowd's still like chattering and assembling, and there's a rubble, right? And Sheriff gets out front, and he says, "Hey, everybody shut the fuck up." He's like, "We've got business to attend to." And everybody kind of shuts the fuck up and is at attention. And the mayor is like, citizens, as you know, tragedy did strike Woodbreeze. She's very solemn. She's like, but we have every reason to believe that threat is quelled. She says, you all, by this point, I'm sure, know who tragedy struck the closest. So please do everything you can to aid them through this difficult process. She says, there's a larger threat to this town, possibly than even a serial killer. She says, this town has been known for being peaceful. She says, we named it for this. And she kind of goes quiet, and everybody's like waiting for her to say something, and like just a nice, gentle, soothing breeze comes through, right? Almost as if it was on cue. And she's like, that's this town. And everybody kind of like does this face like, oh yeah, I get it. And she's like, as I said, there's a larger threat. She says, most of you probably didn't have many dealings with the... And she's like doing this weird look, like she's searching for a word. She says, for lack of a better word, the perpetrator. And she even does like air quotes, and people are confused. She says, I'll let these gentlemen get to that, but she says there's a larger threat to this town. She says, like I said, many of you probably didn't have too many interactions with Kronog. And the ones that he did have, by everything I've been told, could have been better. She's like, I know it wasn't everyone. She says, but we're better as a town. And she says, the only thing evil needs is for good men to do nothing. Thanks, Austin. She doesn't say that. She says, and by not stomping out that threat, we all have failed. She says, but what's past is past. We do better moving forward, and it never happens again. And the sheriff just gives a big hear, and like the people that have gathered, you can tell that there's if there are anybody from the mob, like any faces that would have registered with you, you don't recognize any of them. And she says, now that that's been addressed, and you know what's expected of you, I'd like to introduce the three men that helped this town with no reason to other than pure goodness. And she introduces you all. She says, the world's greatest detective, Ace Burbank. She like gives a open hand gesture pointing at you.
And he hops off Braddock's back as he's been piggybacking this whole time.
There were chairs. No, that's right. You guys are off stage, right?
Yeah.
So she introduces you.
But I've still been holding him this whole time.
Yeah.
Right.
So he hops off his back, and he's like,
see you do this though.
He's got his fancy shiny gloves on, and he just makes poofs of smoke and sparks shoot from his hand, and the smell of sulfur go in the air, and he's like, pew 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 pew. Yeah.
Like,
woo! Dragon Slayer, it's me.
She says, thank you, Mr. Burbank, for that display.
Thank you.
Says,
now,
she says,
Miss Mayor, I must do my introductory accompaniment as Royal Brazier.
She steps back and says, by all means.
And he's stumbling.
Yeah. The sheriff, so like I'm kind of picturing you guys off to like the if you're facing the stage, you're off to the left side. The sheriff kind of walks behind you and puts himself between you and the edge. So, and he's like, you see him like almost in pass blocking stance.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We have my royal steed and the demon knight, prince of shadows, darkness of wonder, Braddock.
The killer of doors and breaker of hymens.
The crowd is less receptive to that.
Breaks up.
They are in a stunned silence.
Ace is fetal laughing and can't continue his introduction.
You hear quiet, scattered applause, like should we
one
be
strong applause in the back.
Yeah. You hear May in the back. Actually, she's like, yeah, and that's the only person that like is loud.
She gets it.
Yeah. She's got a mug still, and she holds it up. Also, I want to note this stage about 8 inches off the ground because we're fucking dealing with halflings here.
Yeah.
So maybe the sheriff is unnecessary, but he's gonna do it anyway.
Yeah. No, Ace like falls to his knees laughing after that, and he's just gut busting laughing after he said a breaker of hymens. He's just like
the sheriff dying. Walks up to you and goes, "Hey, buddy, it was really fucking funny, but maybe remember why we're here. People did die."
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He helps you back up to your feet.
Of course. Our savior. Our princely majesty himself. The prince of sacrificing people who do things against him. Nitsua!
And as I walk out of the way of Nitsua, I go...
You hear applause, and as Nitsua gets up there, when the applause eventually fades down, you hear a couple of people go, "Princely? Princely's not a word, right?" And he was like, "No, it's fine. He's
the prince fine. Of." But yeah, it probably sounded like whatever.
Oh, I heard Princely.
Oh,
I'm like Jason Princely. Anyway, Nitsua.
Whose last name is Lee?
The
Prince Lee.
The mayor kind of gives you a two-handed gesture and says, like to the podium, and it's like, "It's all yours." A couple of guys come out and they hit some crank or some levers, and it raises up, so it's like good for a human height. It comes out of the floor.
Ace looks back at Nitsua as to be like, "You might want to grab me," but goes to walk towards the podium.
The sheriff grabs you. He's just holding you by the shirt tail at this point.
No, as in to keep me from going to the podium.
No. I know he does that.
Got you. Okay, good. Yeah. That's probably a good idea.
Ace, he jumps right back on my shoulders.
Oh, nice. Yes. I'll do that.
The mayor says, "The floor is yours.
Braddock.
The floor is yours, Your Majesty."
So, what's the name of the Underbottom dude, or whatever his name?
Otto Bottomhill.
Otto Bottomhill.
You can call him Otto. Everybody will know who that is.
Okay, Otto.
His last name is Bottomhill, if you would like to use it.
Mr. A-Hole Hill. Sorry.
Alan Hole. A-Hole.
Ace changes his face. This guy. You know this guy. He's a dick.
All right, so just to be clear, I spoke with the mayor earlier, and she understood what I was going to do. Yeah.
You guys, while they were fiddle fucking around, you guys had a little tight minute conversation, and she's all for it.
Yeah, so the mayor approved the different things I'm going to propose to the community, kind of thing. Yeah.
She's heard of what you guys do. She's not super versed in it, but she's heard of it, and she's all for it.
Cool. He gets up there and he's laughing a little bit, kind of just with Ace, because Ace is being a ham, of course. And he enjoys Ace, and so he looks like he's enjoying everyone up there, and the things that have said. I'm gonna bounce around a little bit into saying in role play, and then just saying some of the things he's talking about, because
I'm with you.
So he gives some words to the mayor, and to the sheriff, just to applaud the things that they've said. He talks about some just general platitudes at first, getting everyone in the mood, kind of in a bit more somber mood, but not he's subtle. He's a good craftsman speaker. He then mentions that when he was in the temple here in Woodbreeze, in the place where they have set aside for other gods and deities, he noticed a sign for his own, the light or the Luxon. He looks around and hopefully sees some.
You see a few. Hang on, let me do this real quick. Let me see. This will be a fun roll.
Yeah.
I need the other dice. Okay, I rolled a D100 and I got a 1. So you see like a couple of people. One of them being
the one high priest who put it in there.
You see the. I'll tell you who for sure knows who the fuck you're talking about, or what you're talking about
Just some random farmer.
Is the cleric that you guys dealt with. Her name is Esme. But she for sure knows what you're talking about, and then probably like a couple other people. But everybody else is, if they may have heard of it, but like, but they're unfamiliar. So you can.
The high priest could serve as a chaplain for like many gods, like a chaplain in the military. They'll set up services for every.
That's kind of how I see it too.
Other religion.
Yeah, I see that being pretty normal, especially in
so there may be just a couple.
In a town as homogeneous as this. Yeah. I saw the sign of my own deity, which I thought is very pleasant to see, and I can see by the empty stares and looks, most of you haven't seen it. He gives a brief like, it's important for me to share this. He says he's of the Order of the Luxon of the Light. He gives a little brief introduction of what he believes, that they believe that all life is connected and enriched by the community, and that the community becomes like a life unto itself. And it is that life that he's there now to heal. Like with all wounds, you can heal it or remove the limb if it becomes necrotic. To save the life of this community and to help it flourish, we need to deal with the cause of the lack of trust. Otto and what's his face is what I wrote down.
Oh, the butcher?
That guy.
His name is Old Duff.
Ace changes his face again. Another piece of shit.
By the way, John, I love that you and I have just become Korg and Scanlan. All of a sudden.
Yes.
Krog is Scanlan.
Yeah, Old Duff is his name.
Otto and Old Duff didn't trust. They didn't trust the town. They didn't trust their community. They didn't trust their leaders to do the right thing. And that caused the death of these people. He then goes on just like a brief telling of these people. He talks about who they were individually, the different things that each of them wanted to do with their lives, the different proclivities that the young girl had, that she always wanted to grow up and do this and this. And
it's so sad. It's gonna start crying.
So
I can't believe she's gone.
And he also speaks to the others, right? He goes into a small amount of detail. But it almost seems like it's very practiced, and he knows just what to say about the person so that you feel like you know them, but he doesn't take a long time, or like you don't get bored, right? It seems like you're learning about yourself in a way, and you learn to understand that person the way they understood themselves is the point of what he tries to do. He then looks to Otto.
Real quick, Nitsua, when you finish that up, it kind of moves Ace, and he like takes a big sniffle, and he just walks up and like stands next to you while you're talking. And once you look over at him, he's like, "You moved me." Gives you a hug, and then he goes and sits back down, and he wipes tears away.
He definitely takes that in stride and lets other people like have like an emotional moment as well. Otto and Olduf, they they also have a play in this. And he goes and he seems to know Otto and Ulda more than he should. He listened, he learned, he heard who they were. He went into in Otto's house, and he knows him the best. And he was able to pick up things kind of like a mentalist.
Mm-hmm.
To just know them. And he describes Otto and Uldif the same way he describes those who died, to the point where you understand Otto and Uldif from their own point of view. And to understand someone from their own point of view is to love them from their point of view. To know them is to love them. So everyone can understand how Otto and Uldif did what they did. They saw why they made the choices that they made from their own perspective, and they also saw how it led to the deaths of the people in their community. They could see in themselves making those choices if they had lived the lives that Otto and Uldif had lived. So they can still see they're wrong, but there's also a new level of understanding of what happened. Because he also then talks about the orc. He goes into a lot more details of the orc. He talks of the orc as if he personally knew him, even though he didn't, because he talks of him as being one of the subjects, one of the people he was responsible for. So the orc hand is what did this, and I will take the responsibility.
Not his mind.
I will take the responsibility of that because he was one of my people. He was my community. And that is why I'm here today, and that is why I've done everything I've done. They acted from fear and bigotry, yes. Their actions led to evil, yes. But they did it to try and protect the community. I'm almost done, by the way. They did it to try and to protect the community. It was his truthful account of the facts, and what I believe to be the beginning of true remorse, that Otto helped us uncover the real cause of these murders. And that is something that we are going to get to the bottom of. Now, you, the community, have the choice to reject him, to reject both of these people, and to cast them out as not worthy of saving. Or to accept their evil as being allowed to happen by the inaction of everyone here. To show remorse and to ensure this never happens again, the town should share the burden of rebuilding the orc's house. I say his name, I don't know his name. To rebuild the orc's house for all travelers, for anyone who's in need and is different, to have a safe place to stay. This place will be run and facilitated by Otto, who will live in that house and keep it maintained as his penance for his crime, and to turn the memory of the orc's house to one of trust and acceptance. The burnt house of Otto will be left burnt for a year and to let fall into ruin, to let everyone remember what happens when they say nothing and when they do nothing when they see evil. Then, in a year's time, it'll be turned into a garden with the produce to be free to all travelers and to help what's the word? All the profits of the garden to be helped support the
New settlers in the town.
The hostel, yes, basically.
It's a fun non-for-profit charity garden.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So these are your choices. What does the community say? Will you save him or will you reject him?
You see, trying to think. You see just an old man. He's old. You haven't met him. You don't even know this guy's name. But he's got a very friendly face. He says, he kind of like shuffles his way to the front of the crowd because the crowd is like, they're at like they've never had to like undertake this, right? They've never been, I mean, they've had this, this plague of racists, right? But they've never known what to do with it, or they've never really like communed together to fight it or whatever. The old man shuffles forward and he says, "I've been here longer than many of you, and I've never suffered any heartbreak in my entire life until that came around." And he's like, "We've had bad days here, but the day that came to fruition was the worst. It can't happen." And he's like, it can't continue. He's like, "I don't have many days left, but you can bet your ass that I'm going to spend every last one of them making sure it doesn't." And like,
hurrah, hurrah!
Between your speech and this old man, he's very much in my head, much like the old man who stands up to Loki. In Germany or wherever.
Yeah.
He's basically that guy. And that scene does it. That puts the whole crowd like you've got them, and they're in.
Adam, quick double check on the orc's name. Was it
Kronog?
Kronog. There you go. While this is happening and people are cheering, Braddock puts his hand mildly forcefully, on Nitsua's shoulder and says, "His name was Kronog," and walks away.
Yeah. Well, he would have.
But during the speech,
the thing.
Because I still have this thing where I like to have Braddock upset about Kronog being killed.
Here's why I also like it, Austin. And I don't know if you considered this, but it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I understand why you would be like, he would use his name, and totally. But here's another reason why it works. Maybe not everybody in the town even knew Kronog's name. So like this way, you're like very clear about who you're talking about. And now I think that is fucking awesome.
Yeah, the hostel will be known as Kronog's house, and it will be open to all travelers and anyone who needs a place to stay.
Yeah, the crowd fucking loses their shit.
Kronog.
Where's Otto and Olaf during this?
Otto is in custody. The sheriff probably took Olaf in too because Otto suggested it. Everybody give me a perception check.
Would they have been able to hear it from where they're at?
Braddock, don't let me go near the prisoners.
If they didn't hear your speech, Austin, they can certainly hear this chant of Kronog. Okay, cool. Very good perception rolls. You guys see while this chant is going on. That's fine. Ace is probably too fucking hammered to notice.
And he's chanting.
And doing emotions. Right. You guys notice like there's like faces peeking out of windows and like shutting up. Like they see you see them and they like shut the shutters. And the faces you see, some of them register as people that were in the mob. So not everybody's here just because you have a rough estimate of how big the town is, and you can tell that you're like, I don't know, 95% of the way there. Maybe 90% of the town is here, and you can assume whoever's not here was probably in the mob.
Okay.
So the only pushback I'd give about Kronog is because I did speak his death too. So just like the others, he would have, and he could have said the orc or two. But the point is that everyone who listened and heard, the way the speaker speaks for the dead is that you understand the dead as if like you understand yourself, and you understand why they do those things. So everyone who could have heard, or everyone who heard, like got a good understanding of who he was, his life, his clan, his hopes and his dreams, the things that he wanted to do after this, why he was there, why did he stay? He stayed because that's what he does. He does the hard thing and he does the right thing, and he knew that he had to stay there to try and protect people, even though he didn't know he was why he was doing it, or that he was protecting them, or that he was even the one that was needed protection from. Like he was the one doing the stuff. So they all got that. I still
Right.
like the idea of Braddock coming up and saying something to him about it. Like this doesn't remove the like you knowing him doesn't change the fact that you also killed him or something. Like he definitely like maybe would have had like a small gut check.
Right.
Which
I
is
get it.
Yeah, for sure.
No, I've dug all of this.
Yeah. So everyone and that's the point is that we don't have to stick up for Kronog. We don't have to stick up because these people understand the balance of those that are the ones that were the victims, but they also understand the ones who helped perpetrate. And when you understand the balance, that's what gives you the confidence to do the thing because now you know.
And knowing is half the battle.
The other half is superior firepower and they're willing to use it.
Hell yeah. So
I'm just saying, the Texas National Guard could take on the Russian army, apparently.
So you've done this. You guys have fucking presented this. It's been fucking awesome. And as the chants go on, the mayor steps back up and kind of takes a place at the podium, right? And she's like, while this is a time, like the chants kind of settle as they see her up there, and she's like, while this is a time of sorrow for many, and understandably so, it's also a time to move forward, to improve, to be better. And she's like, and the best way to start off on a new foot is with a celebration. She's like, May's in the back. She's like, what's up? And she's like, you think you can rustle something up in a couple hours? She's like, hell yeah. And she's like, all right. She's like, see you at 7. And she's like, she goes, I'll go check Old Duff's house. I'm sure he's got a hog laying around that he probably won't mind that we borrow. Because he's fucking in jail. She points at Braddock. She goes, you. She's like, go get it.
Please.
She's like, she wants you to go fucking rustle up the fucking hog, and she heads back to the bar, and everybody starts to like disperse and go back to about their day. Like a fucking Thursday for them, right? They still got to do their thing, but you can tell that when people are like dispersing, that everyone there's still a little bit of leftover sorrow, but it's been as good a day as it possibly could be.
Your Majesty, when do you think is a good time to ask the sergeant about the money he owes us?
The sergeant's there. He's like, he says
it out loud in front of the sergeant.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, he's drunk as shit.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah. He says, hey, shithead.
Oops.
And, he says,
oh, hey. Hi, Sergeant.
He says, what's up, buddy? He says, don't worry, we didn't forget about you. And he tosses a sack your way. And
Braddock, beer money.
How much is it?
He inside is I will get back to you on that.
Okay. Either 50 million or 500. I can't tell. I'm seeing a lot.
he's like you open up the bag and the sheriff's like, he's like, we're not as wealthy as what you guys tell me about your beloved hometown, but we rustled up as much as we could for you, and it's 50 gold apiece.
Nice.
So again, track it this time.
Yeah, Nitsua.
So you guys should be
Nitsua
right
has,
around.
Nitsua
You guys
has-
should be around 55 gold apiece, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think I told
Yeah.
you to keep 5 on you in case you needed it for bribery or something.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So, so yeah, it's probably, I don't know, the afternoon time. It's I don't know. By the time all the festivities have ended, it's probably like 1, 2 o'clock. You, as the people disperse, you get a bunch of people, and they're like, they're come up and they kind of like raise their hands up, not like front row girls at a Backstreet Boys concert in '97, but like they're like reaching up to like thank you and like shake your hands and stuff, and like there's a bit of a line form. It's not everybody, but I'd say probably like half the people like wait in line to like.
Ace would just sit down on like the 8-inch stage.
I thought he would be flying around like.
That nope. Yes. Thank
Like,
you.
he'd be like
You're right.
out surfing, like
You're right.
flying, like just.
He is definitely gonna fly around and he's doing the wrestler entrance hand fucking slap to everybody.
Jesus Christ!
Yes.
Yeah, you hear.
I'll use another use of that.
You take off and you hear a bunch of oohs and ahs and all that jazz and
Yes, we have come to make sure you stay safe. There are threats in the world, and we will work to squelch them.
you hear a couple people go, squelch? Is that one? It's like, I don't know. We'll look it up when we get home. They're like, so yeah, you get a bunch of people expressing their gratitude. And at the end of this line is a little boy. You haven't met this little boy, and he walks up to you, Braddock, and like, you are an imposing figure, borderline scary to a little kid, I would think at this point. He walks up to you, and there's not a fucking ounce of fear or hesitation in this kid, and he says, "Here," and he holds up this box, and he says, "Never figured this one out. Take it." And do you take it from him?
Well, you're a strange child, but okay.
Slap it to
So
Thank you.
You take it, and he runs away like kids do, all fucking like he's excited,
Hey.
not like fleeing in terror. He's like welcome, and
Yes,
he's like,
Rick.
takes off.
Here,
What do you
I
need?
need your detective skills. Open this box.
He flies over there and switches into his detective gear. Yes, what do you need? And
Here.
he's
Open it.
I picture that his legs get kind of wispy when he gets his flight. So
like Genie,
Like
like the
Modok.
bottom of Genie.
Like
yeah,
Modok.
almost the bottom of Genie, but they're still solid. But the both of them get kind of almost wispy, like separate tails.
Gotcha.
Um,
So this box, it's I don't know, maybe it's a little bit bigger than a deck of cards.
Okay.
Like it could probably hold. Let's go with this. It could hold 2 decks of cards side by side, but then 3 high. So picture that.
Okay, so about like
Look at
this big.
gather round, folks. See me in action. Let's solve this mystery box.
It's got, so it's pretty simple. It's well made, but it's simple. It's got a latch on it, with like a little, eyelet that you could lock, but there's also like 6 holes drilled in the top of the lid. Everybody roll me an Arcana check on this.
Okay.
20.
Nice.
19 with my -1.
Nice. So between those 2 rolls, you guys And
Nice.
okay, even more
Yeah,
so
we
now.
all pretty much got 20.
Excellent rolls. You between all those rolls, you guys figured out, and I'm gonna have to make this, so bear with me. But you're not gonna use it today anyway. This is a potion aerosolizer. So you dump a potion into this box, and it aerosolizes. So it starts to like mist out and shit, and you get the effect. Everybody gets the effects of what's in it. So, like, if you dump a basic healing potion in it, everybody's going to get the effects of those.
That's fucking nice. So,
Now,
out of combat, we can get a group heal.
But if you use this, I am going to make you roll on it.
That's
just because
fine.
it's fun.
Yeah.
Also, I'm going to think on it. I'm going to think about whether or not I want to put a, like, use limit on it. Like once per day, once per 1d4 days. That'd be the max it is. But yeah, I'm gonna think on it.
I mean,
and I'll make it in D&D Beyond. But
it is gonna be registered by the amount of potions we have as well. Like, regulated. I mean, not registered, regulated.
Right? Yeah, but like I think you all have a fucking at least one potion on you.
Right now, we have a decent amount.
Right.
But how long those last?
Right. So yeah, also, probably like a 10-foot radius. So, but I gotta iron out all the kinks in this, and I will make it and add it to D&D Beyond.
I like it.
But yes, that is what that is. Thanks, Glass Cannon or Pathfinder. So that's where I stole that idea from.
That's a fantastic idea.
Yeah,
Baz, you're totally muted. I don't know how long you've been talking.
Oh, sorry, I was talking to my wife.
Okay, you're fine.
That's why he was having so much fun.
Yeah.
He looked animated and like he was having a fun conversation with someone he enjoyed, and not us.
So
hey, I'm always animated and having a conversation I enjoy with you guys.
It's been very interesting. Ace has been very interesting for you. I feel like
I've had a lot of fun with Ace.
You really got loosened up, and I'm digging it.
It's a
just toss shit in there.
Strong character choice for John to undertake. So I know we're gonna wrap up soon. So I kind of want to get to this. I'm going to basically fast forward through the party, the festivities at May's, unless there are some like small conversations you guys want to have. She's already
hit on her a little bit.
Drinks are on the house. And room and board is on the house.
I already laid that groundwork down.
What's essentially the currency exchange rate of gold, a gold coin, for these people?
I think so. The best way to do that is I think one gold piece in dollars
is like 100.
I think it's about $100.
Because a copper is like $1. And 100 copper makes 1 gold.
But in a town like that, in like this, I would imagine gold would. I mean,
yeah, it's about $100. So do with that what you will.
So what I want to do, I'd want to go.
That's probably a lot of money for this community.
Yeah, let's call it double, like $200.
It's a closed commune kind of thing, and so people don't really just get like windfalls like that. But I want to go to the houses of everyone who all the families who lost someone,
bereaved,
and they're each gonna get 5 gold coins. It's not gonna be like something I might try and do it if they're not there. I'm just gonna put it somewhere in there, and
they would be at the party, but if you want to do it at the house, then I get it. Yeah, they all have like mailboxes.
Yeah, and so essentially it's just Weregild from the Stone Shore coast for the loss of their loved one. And Weregild is pretty in this kind of like world, like in Lord of the Rings and stuff. Well, in the Silmarillion, anyways, it's definitely a thing. And it's like recompense of the crown essentially to your money's not going to buy anything like by the person that you lost, but
right. But it's better than a casserole.
It's the only thing we can do, really. So
Right.
we each get 5 gold pieces.
Dope. I dig that.
How many
Like-
families was that? So that's what, 4 or 5?
Huh?
That was like 4 or 5 families?
3. There were 3
okay.
victims.
That's right. So
5 gold could definitely buy you some livestock.
Sure.
I mean, it's
100%.
I'll
Yeah.
the
match it.
difference, and maybe the parents who lost a girl now have a little extra money to have more kids.
Right. And who knows, like one of them was a banker, right? So presumably his family's well off. Maybe they share that. Maybe they give theirs away to the other families. That's what I like to think.
And
So-
Braddock will match that.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Faces
you guys,
off getting drunk.
for sure, as I expected. So
Ace is in his feelings.
you, like I said, you guys have a good time. They have a little halfling bard playing tunes all night. They have a little band. It's a lute, a squeeze box, and a washboard. And it's a good time. The only thing that could make it better is if they had chairs big enough for you guys. But the food is awesome. May keeps bringing you guys drinks from the good bottle. And every time, the first time she does it, she kind of goes, shh. She's like, more this way, there's more for us. And she says,
I'll be quiet.
yeah, she's like, she looks at you two and goes, keep a lid on that. And she goes, oh, almost forgot. And she tosses you guys a key. She's like, upstairs, 3rd door on the left, whenever you're ready for it. Fresh linens on beds. Sorry, they're not a little bigger. They'll fit you, but I wish I could give you all king size beds. It just doesn't make a lot of sense around here. You understand? And
So Nitsu is going to do the thing where he talks to everyone and just listens to everyone, whatever they have to say, whatever they feel they need to say. He's listening to everyone.
for sure. So you guys do this, and I don't. This is going to be one of the only, if few times I play your characters for you, but I have a reason. So you guys call it a night, and you go up to the room together, and there's a table in your room. It's not a huge room, but it's big enough. It's got like a table in the middle, and there's a decent sized lantern in the room. And it's big enough to light the whole room, and you guys are getting ready for bed, probably de-armoring and whatnot, and I don't know, maybe packing your shit to get back on the road. I don't know, but you guys are all you probably are meandering around the room, and this really bright lantern quickly fades to black, and you guys are in complete darkness. Even Braddock can't see. And slowly, that lantern starts to light back up. And when it does, you're not in your room. You're surrounded by blackness, but there is light bouncing off of you so you can see each other. Probably 10, 15 seconds goes by.
What is
Probably
this? Where are we?
Probably feels like an hour. Some wind starts to pick up and swirl around you guys. And the lantern gets back to its full power that you guys had it at in your room. And when it does,
Right.
you see probably
Majesty.
60 feet away from you. You see a throne and 3 smaller seats in front of it on an elevated altar. In front of that, not an altar, like a stage. Not a stage. What's it called where thrones sit? It's elevated. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, there you go. The dais, right. And in front of that dais is a stone slab. And in the chairs there's four total chairs, a large throne and 3 smaller thrones in front of it. And in each seat is a hooded figure, black robe, and from the figure in the biggest throne, you hear a voice that says, "It's nice to meet you. We have much to discuss." And that's where we're going to stop.
Who are you?